My name is Shabinyo Mislamak, and I want to be drunk here in Harvard.
And you're listening to Turbojugend Radio. Hello everybody, it's February, time for another episode of Turbojugend Radio, your monthly podcast about Turbojugend and its effect on society. Well, Cebesto here from Cologne, from the so nice city of Cologne, the gay capital of Europe, which is good. And what can I say? Next week is Carnival in Cologne, where everybody fucks everybody. And it remains to be seen what's going to happen there, and I'll keep you posted, I guess I have to. This episode of Turbojugend Radio will bring you some information on the news you guys should be interested a lot about the WTJT who take place in Hamburg in the month of August. As I talked to Willemt, the newly elected president of Turbojugend St. Pauli, who gives us some insights on not only his Jugend, Turbojugend St. Pauli, but also the event itself, the WTJT number 10 in the city of Hamburg in St. Pauli. Well, what else do I have for you? I'll have a segment of the Turbojugend Worldwide as I talk to Turbojugend Milano, Italy, the north of Italy. They will feed us with some information on how to resurrect the Jugend. I think they did a really great job, but you'll hear about that very, very shortly. And completing this episode will be another MVP segment, the most valuable patch of my jacket, as I look at a fine piece of artwork by Luki, the president of Turbojugend St. Laurenzi, who goes into details about his patch, the patch he made pretty famous within the last years. And he'll gonna be talking at length about that. But let's not wait too long, and let's get it on, and I'll take you to Italy, to the beautiful city of Milano, into our worldwide segment. Enjoy. So here we are. We're going to Italy this time, to the southern part of Europe. With me at this time is the MILF Hunter and Stevie Wonderful from Turbojugend Milano in the beautiful Italy. Hi there.
Hi there. Ahoy.
Ahoy. So we have not met in person, but I heard that the Turbojugend in Italy, in northern Italy, is going strong again. So maybe you can tell the audience who you guys are and how Turbojugend Milano is doing.
All right, so I'm president of the MILF Hunter.
I'm Stevie Wonderful, vice president.
And, well, actually the last year has been really great. We resurrected the chapter, and since the resurrection, we put it on full activity again. We basically now have around 37 members. I'd say 20 are the active ones.
37, right?
Yeah.
Big chapter. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we had 2 new logos made, and we made patch and pins and traded. We hosted the first Jugendfest ever for Milano at Rock and Roll this July, and it was really great. We had bands and DJs all involved in the chapter playing, and with really a lot of people. And then this year we were the first Milanese delegation ever, or maybe Italian, I don't know, to go to the Turbojugend.
Mm-hmm.
We had the time of our lives there, basically. And so things are going really great.
Looks like a really active and big Jugend. But as I know, there have been prior Jugens in Milano. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about the history of Turbojugend in Milan, and how you guys are, or how the Jugend has been resurrected in the recent years. When was it originally found?
It was founded in 2003.
Yeah, I think so. Well, the idea of resurrecting it started from the two of us because we're really big Turbo Negro fans, and we really did want to have a Jugend in Milano. We knew the previous Jugend had a MySpace, but we couldn't contact them because no one used it. And so we wrote to
the central Jugend, to Balthazar Catharsis,
because we wanted to have the chapter back and to have it in full activity.
Yeah, and so basically he wrote to all the older members, and the former president says that, well, if you want, take it over the chapter, because she was a girl, she's now living in China, I think. And so basically we took the chapter, and Balthazar put us in contact with the other guys who also tried to have the chapter back. So then we all united with the ex-members who wanted to be still active and the new members. Yeah, that was about October of last year. And basically there are 3 or 4 older members, and they told us that actually the chapter was founded the first time around 2003 and then refounded in 2005. But again, it lasted a couple of years, and they told me they only met twice at some concerts. So basically, as far as I know, this is the first time the Milano chapter is being really active and
we really organized something.
Really organized. And well, we were involved. We were not involved before the resurrection, but we had already a Turbo Negro tribute called S Cobra going on since 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, so that's a band you started before you were founding the Turbojugend or resurrecting the Turbojugend in Milano?
Exactly. And
it all started from there because, we said we're big Turbo Negro fans and the Jugend is so cool, so why don't we just put it into action and do something more real.
Yeah, plus we saw Turbo Negro when they played in Varazze in Italy, where they shot the You Give Me Worms video, and we were there, and we were kind of bummed that we couldn't be there as Turbojugend members, plus there weren't even
so many Jugend there.
So many other Italian Jugends there, and so that from that point on, we really started working on it.
Okay, so it seems like a pretty big movement nowadays. But you were just mentioning that you saw Turbo Negro play at the concert in northern Italy when they were shooting the video of You Give Me Worms. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. We were there.
Were you there at the shooting of the video?
Yeah.
It was not a pro shooting. It was a mix of live and because it was a festival called Vans of the Wall, which was also a skate contest plus some live performances, and Turbo Negro were headlining. And I think it was one of maybe the first live show after the
Tony Silvestro. Yeah, for sure.
Maybe.
It was the first show with the new lineup in Italy, and as far as now the only one.
And the album was about to come out, so they just shot the video.
They shoot the video during the festival day.
During the whole day.
And we were there, although unfortunately we didn't make it on the video. We're hoping for next time.
I get that, maybe next time. So Milano has in the history of the band Turbo Negro has a pretty infamous part, because as we all know, in 1998 the band broke up due to Hank's heroin addiction.
Yeah.
And so it was in Milano when he got into the psycho hospital.
Yeah.
And everything else followed, and the rest is, I guess, it's history. But so it's very good to know that you are really picking the slack up in Milano and really have a big Jugend going on. 37 members, my God! Is that only in the city of Milano, or does that also include, or are you guys trying to include cities around Milan?
Yeah, it's also from other cities around.
Yeah.
We have a guy from Como, which is near the lake, Luca.
Yeah. And plus we have a couple of guys who live in other city. One is from Turin, one is from Alessandria, and they're a friend of us. And since there are no active Jugend in their city, or like they don't know other Turbo Negro fans there, they joined up with us, since even if they live, they're living out the city, they're like close friends of us, so we see them a lot. And plus, Milano is.
We have to say that 37 members. Yeah, they're not all active, because we included also the previous members that we couldn't get in contact with.
Yeah, we kept the legacy members, even if we have no contact with them since.
Yeah, so maybe then they check their email and say, the Jugend is back. Oh well, I mean, we don't want to.
We're waiting for them if they're listening.
Okay. So I get that. I know quite a few Jugens from Italy. Italy doesn't seem to be a very, very big Turbojugend country, but as I know Turbojugens from Bibione, I got to know some years ago from Turbojugend Treviso.
Treviso.
Which is or Treviso, maybe, that's Treviso in the north of Italy as well. And the chapter in Trieste, I think.
Oh, yeah,
that's right.
Do you know those guys? Or how is the Turbojugend organized in the northern part of Italy?
Yeah,
are you meeting them?
Yeah, when we resurrected the chapter, we got in contact with all of them, and we sent some turbo mail with patches and pins. We got together, but we didn't met by person, unfortunately.
Yeah, we
just the guys from Turbojugend Viadanal, which is near Mantova,
and another guy from Turbojugend Appletown.
Yeah,
we wrote to the chapter that were listed as active in the Turbojugend map, and all of them answered back to us, but unfortunately we only managed to meet these guys because it's not that easy to travel and meet, but we're really looking forward to it. And as far as the no longer active chapters, we actually, maybe we had contact with someone in Trieste, but otherwise we have really we didn't manage to meet or contact anyone.
Yeah, I know Trieste is still active. I sent patches to them.
Okay. Great. But we really would like to have a chance to be more involved altogether, because as for now, basically it's more or less every city on its own.
So maybe that Jugendfest that you were mentioning, the Jugendfest is a Turbojugend party you guys are organizing. So when is that taking place? Is that a party of its own, or is that related to some sort of a festival or another event?
No, it's just an event we organized by ourselves, and it took place last summer.
Yeah.
It was in Rock and Roll, which is a small club in Milano.
And we had a friend who usually organized gigs there. So he said, "Okay, I'll help you have it." But it was an event on its own, and basically it was two bands playing. The first is called Die Trying, and they are a really, really good hardcore punk band. And the guitarist is in the Jugend. And then our Turbo Negro tribute has Cobra, plus me and a couple of other guys of the Jugend having a DJ sets. And it turned out really great because there was everybody of the Jugend came, plus we had a guest, we had Vilku from Turbojugend Kirkonomy. He traveled all the way from his house in near Bibione to be with us, and it was we were really, really honored from that.
Yeah, he was spending his summer in Bibione with Turbojugend Bibione, and he wanted to travel to Milano to meet us. It was great. It was really nice to meet him.
And plus, we also in the crowd there was also a lot of like people not involved with the Jugend, but rock and roll fans.
Yeah, and it was also the first time we could meet all together, also with the ex-members and the old members from the Jugend. Yeah, it was really nice. We are looking forward to organize another one this summer.
Yeah, this would be my next question. Are you planning on doing this again in the summer?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
Do you have any idea when it's going to take place?
We don't know. We will have to see. But this year, it was in July, and we were hoping to have it maybe in the late May or in June. So
when the climate is not so hot.
Yeah.
When the climate is not so hot, and not by coincidence, the Turbojugend are happening on the same weekend.
Oh, yeah,
it would probably not be a good idea. So you probably will be waiting. But sounds like a good plan to get the whole Jugend in Italy united and to finally have an event going in Italy, because obviously the weather and everything is nice. So I would think that many people would love to come to Italy to party with you guys. As far as the south of Italy is concerned, do you have any idea if there's any Turbojugend activities in the south of Italy?
No,
I don't think so.
No, I knew there used to be some chapters, but none of them seem to be active anymore. No, like southern Italy, I don't know why, but there's not even a single one. Unfortunately for us, we don't know many people in the south, so basically we have really no way to get in contact with them. We hope maybe, I don't know. Well, we're really looking forward to have Turbonegro in Italy, so that they'll manage to probably gather around some other people.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll have finally a chance to meet from all the country.
Yeah, they come to play in Italy so much.
Yeah. So if anybody out there is of the south of Italy is listening, get in contact with the guys. They're happy to welcome you to the Italian Turbojugend family. I have a question of my own. I mean, if you look at Italian men in general, and as I can see you on Skype right now, you're really well dressed and have all the gear going on.
Thanks.
I've noticed that one guy at the party in Vienna, at our Christmas party, he was wearing a very, very stylish outfit to go with the kute, even a white scarf. Is that something that you notice within the Jugens in Italy, that also in the Jugend the Italian men seem able to dress well?
Well,
I don't know. We try to keep a proper style, a proper.
But basically we are all rock and roll fans, so the denim is pretty natural for us. But otherwise, yeah.
Denim and leather,
yeah. But yeah, otherwise I say so. Most of the people it comes natural for them. I don't know if actually we could be considered that much stylish in general, in the proper fashion sense of the word, but we really like how we dress and how we express our love for rock music. So that's cool for us.
Yeah. So when you guys are walking through the streets of Milano, is that since I don't know much about Milano, I've been there personally, but is it a rock and roll city? And how do people react to seeing you guys dressed in denim and in leather? Is that
It's a rock and roll city?
Unfortunately, for me, it's not a rock and roll city.
No. I mean, there is a.
I mean, if you talk about general in Europe, Italy, or the whole south of Europe, it's not like the north. Rock and roll is north. Is more, active, concrete. There are a lot of people.
Bigger.
Yeah, it's bigger. Simply bigger.
Do you have an idea why that's the case? Why the south of Europe is like that?
I don't know. I think that's maybe because the local pop tradition has been always more rooted in a mellow and I don't know how to say, more songwriting style of music. Plus, I probably think that since we're not linguistically related with English and knowledge of the language is not that widespread compared maybe to Germany or Scandinavia. There is also a language barrier when approaching rock music.
Yeah, and then we think historically the band that formed rock and roll, like the Beatles, Rolling Stones, etc., they always came late to Italy. They weren't, they weren't widespread, like for example in Germany or in the UK. Everything comes late in Italy. So
there are like the underground scene is quite active actually, and punk and metal in particular, they have a strong tradition here, and they managed to put out really like famous and really great band. But
it's always a more underground scene.
Yeah, but compared to the whole city or nation, it always stays as underground. Like there is also very, very conservative policies from the record companies and cultural institution against rock and roll. And
is that a Catholic thing, you think?
Also,
that plays with it.
There's the moral has always been more strict, and plus rock and roll basically it comes from sex, I'd say. It's
sexually related. So,
and Catholicism is probably one of the most sexophobic form of religion. So maybe that played a part.
Yeah, but this is an interesting point you're raising, because I have to ask you this. I heard that Italian males, right? Italian males, for some reason, have a strong idea or a strong wish or affection with transsexual prostitutes. Is that right, or is it just a rumor?
No, well,
not for me.
Not for us. Then I don't know about the general statistic, but in our experience, I've never seen that particular kind of focus on it.
I mean, this is just a rumor I heard, and since you're like open-minded, you have the leather cap going, and you're probably sexually active. This is a question. It's a cliche. Maybe it's a cliche thing, but I was always wondering if that's the case. Is that maybe related to as a strong anti-Catholic movement as well? But
probably in the general society, the idea of doing something forbidden, like more sinning, is more eradicated. But no, in our experiences, I say, probably another side of that fact is that we don't actually know many gay people, but not because we're homophobic or anything, just because there's a pressure from society to be more hidden and to gather more in exclusively in the gay scene. So we don't have much contact with them.
No.
But anyway, personally, we are more old-fashioned, still going with girls.
I get that. Okay. When you
and about question about going out in the city with our kutas on, in the underground rock and punk scene, nobody seems to really care. Sometimes they'll be be curious, or they have a laugh since for our Warriors name, but nobody had find it weird.
Oh.
I've noticed that when we are going out in the streets, I see people looking at with curiosity and maybe wondering if we're a gang or something. Plus, I experienced a couple of times getting bad looks from motorcycle clubs. I saw them looking for to see if we had the MC patches or not. Luckily, I think they got that we're not an MC, so never had problem with that. But sometimes it direct the attention.
Yeah. When you guys are meeting in Milano, is that a certain place you guys are meeting? I would think, should it be a place like a pizza place like Pomparia's Pizza in Oslo, or is it a regular rock rock venue. Do you have any place where you meet?
Yeah, you gave us a good idea because we never organized a pizza party, and that's a
that's a fault on us.
Organized one,
definitely. But we met
we usually meet at pubs.
At a pub, there's a pub that on Sundays he's having like cheap beers, and you can have also food, really really crappy food, but anyway it goes free with the booze. So we usually met there,
And then we have our page, private page on Facebook. Everyone from the Jugend maybe is interested in a concert and it says, I'm going there tonight. Who come?
Yeah, we always try to catch up at concert. But like in terms of a clubhouse, we are still looking for a place that suits for like our spirits, for the Jugend spirits.
Will pizza play a big role in that? Or is it?
Yeah. Now that you gave us the tip off, we'll definitely take into serious account. That would be great.
Have a pizza play with rock and roll and some good music. So it was great talking to you guys. I think we got a really good.
It's great for us too.
Good impression on Turbojugend in Italy, and you seem to be really doing well. Having a big chapter with 37 member. That's really impressive, I have to say. And also with the Jugendfest, I think you're doing a great job in trying to get Turbojugend more popular in Italy, at least in the north of it. So I really do thank you for the interview and for the conversation. And I hope you guys will announce the date for the Jugendfest in Milano soon. Yeah. And of course, I hope to see you guys very, very soon in Hamburg.
Of course. We wouldn't miss it for the world.
Yeah.
Never Shut Up by the Texas Cherry Bomb of their album Your Lips, My Ass of 2004. Texas Cherry, who I coincidentally met last year at a bar in Berlin. She now makes her living in Berlin, usually hails from Texas, made her living in LA, and she's a legit 2014 version of the legendary and never forgotten Wendy Williams. So if you guys get a chance to see a concert, just check this lady out and pray for 50% of the energy of this lady, because what she brings to the table is simply amazing at her age, and she honestly still looks very, very hot. So if you get the chance to see Texas Cherry Bomb at a concert, go ahead, check her out. She's awesome. Which brings me to the next topic. It's the MVP, the most valuable patch of my jacket. This time we travel deep into Bavaria, into a small town that goes by the name of St. Laurenzi.
The MVP.
With me at this time is I would say pretty famous member of the Turbojugend, who has been around for quite some years. It's Luki, the lucky assassin from Turbojugend St. Laurenzi, which is in beautiful Bavaria, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, this is right. It's in the middle of Bavaria.
Okay, and holding in my hands is a very beautiful and notable patch of your Jugend, and we would like to feature your patch this month on the MVP segment. I would like to start to ask you to describe your patch and maybe go a little bit into the details about why it looks like this and what's the background story of the whole patch.
Well, this is a white and blue patch, a circular shaped patch, which looks nearly like the coat of arms of the FC Bayern München, but is styled different in some details, which is made for making fun of some traditional and conservative processes for which Bavaria is famous for, like our Bavarian king Ludwig II. Portrait is in the center of this patch, and he was also famous not only for his castles he built, but also for his homosexuality, which is always denied by a very conservative people in Bavaria, but he was doubtless. And we gave him also hanged skies. And behind his head, there is the coat of arms of the House of Wittelsbach. This is the famous Bavarian flag. And the whole patch is held in white, blue colors, because this is the adversary of the FC Bayern is the another football team, the TSV 860 München, and so this is all meant for a provocation.
Okay, so it resembles the logo of the soccer club of FC Bayern Munich. For those, probably the European Turbojugend members know about the logo of FC Bayern. For all you US and worldwide listeners, Google it. It's easy. So it basically resembles the logo of the soccer club of FC Bayern Munich, who basically beats the living crap out of every single soccer team in Europe these days. And it's exactly the same logo. And it says Turbojugend on top and St. Laurenzi at the bottom. I think that the original logo is FC Bayern München, right? That's what it says. And in the middle of it is the pattern of Bavaria, sort of, and the faggot king, right? So he builds castle and fucks boys. That's what they did back in the days.
Well, young soldiers, it's that.
Oh, also nice. It's not
boys is more for politicians, so.
So back in the days, the king fucked the soldiers. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so
every symbol of this patch is made for making fun of this conservativeness, which is Bavaria famous for.
So, but you live in Bavaria. So how is being a member of the Turbojugend and living in Bavaria, and how far is the conservatism hitting you right in the face in your daily life as a Turbojugend?
Well, because I'm a Turbojugend president, I want to take it out before I have passport technically. But no fun besides this. The conservativeness is really hard in the middle of the society here, and I think if everything goes on like it ever did, everything will be okay. But everything which is other or strange or so is not really welcome. And wealthiness is more important than in the socialization of the whole people here. And I don't like that really. But the people are not too encouraged to get that.
Okay, so you live in St. Laurenzi. Maybe you can give the audience a little bit of a hint where they can find St. Laurenzi on the map.
Well, it's not absolutely right, because at St. Laurenzi no one anymore lives. So our Turbojugend for St. Laurenzi is well, it isn't really a village or so. These are 4 or 5 houses with 17 inhabitants. And our Turbojugend has now, I think, 90 members.
So it's 17, right? It's 10 plus 7.
In members of the Turbojugend St. Laurenzi, because that was one of our first aims, to get more members than St. Laurenzi has inhabitants. But this was really funny, because a member of us had a girlfriend there, and they are spread over many small villages, and some live at Ingolstadt near there east. And to have a center of all these people which are spread over a countryside, the point of the middle nearly is St. Laurenzi.
Okay, so it's basically your Turbojugend army exceeds the number of inhabitants of the small village. So have you ever had any plans of invading the village and just owning the whole city?
Not at all, because it's too small for us. We are too many people to occupy that, because 2 or 3 always have to keep that in the stables or so. I'm more happier if they can stay at home. Or at St. Pauli, the next famous Turbojugend, the ST.
Can you repeat the last sentence? I think it was might have been.
I said maybe more common would be St. Pauli, because that's the next famous Jugend with Saint in the chapter name.
That sure is right. But going back to your logo, it basically makes you were pointing out that it makes fun of the FC Bayern Munich because it has the color of its rival club. You can imagine the FC Bayern Munich being the big club, and 1816 Munich, the soccer club, is kind of the smaller rival of the same town, right?
Like the underdog or so. Formerly it was the FC Bayern was a club for the more wealthier people, therefore often successful because they have more money, and that's nowadays often important for such football. And TSV 1860 was more the workers based club.
So what you did, you just exchanged the red Bayern Munich logo and you put the color code of the rivals on it.
Yeah, because it said in Bavaria that the FC Bayern has spectators and other clubs have fans. Because being a fan of the most successful football team ever is not really, should I say, doesn't really mean you have to be a real fan.
It's just a so-called glory hunter, right? That's a term.
Yeah, right.
So, in how far is FC Bayern related to St. Pauli?
Well, they made when St. Pauli was ran out of money. They made a benefits game, and so FC St. Pauli was saved by this club for earning money to not to get out of business, and so therefore we as a St. Pauli fan we're glad to hear about that. And so they are also friends to each other, the FC Bayern and St. Pauli. But I think the next season we will not have any matches against, because the last match we had, I think 4 years ago or so, we lost 8-1. It was really hard for us.
So I think Pauli lost 8-1, and it was kind of embarrassing. And maybe those sort of the money donation of FC Bayern Music was sure nice and appreciated, but on a sporty side, it's not a thing of any interest. That's what are you saying?
No.
Can you repeat the last sentence?
St. Pauli technically. So at the moment we don't have any chance to get into front with them.
So, okay, I think we get the picture. So you're making fun of the soccer club, you're making fun of Bavaria as a state, and you're making fun of a king who really enjoyed fucking his own soldier boys back in the 1800s. That must have been the time.
The 19th century. Well, it is not everything bad in Bavaria. You have to say that, because otherwise no one would make holidays at our country at all. But society at its own, there are much more better places to live. But some things we didn't like, we put in this.
So yeah,
patch and made fun of it.
So I think you really, Luki, you really did a good job of and really thinking a lot about this, about how to localize your logo and bring in all sorts of local aspects and the color code in it. You have the soccer aspect in it, making fun of a very, very rich club, and to top it all off, you put a faggot gay king in it. So it's three means of provocation in the logo. And if I were a teacher, I would give you a straight A on that logo. And that's why it became the most valuable patch of the month. Congratulations, Lucky.
Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Awesome logo, awesome patch by Turbojugend. Thank Dorenzi and Lucky, the lucky assassin. He asked me to point out that it was one of his most favorite members of his Jugend who did the patch. His name is Happy Hiers, who is not only a very, very gifted in designing a logo, but also very, very gifted and good in picking a really fine warrior name. Happy Hiers, for you, all you German speaking out there, is just a wonderful warrior name that I truly appreciate, and I have to say, I love the guy. What I also love is partying with you guys, and what I consequently will do in August is just doing that. And I got the chance to talk to the new president of Turbojugend St. Pauli, Willen, about his Jugend, which he resurrected, Turbojugend St. Pauli, as well as, of course, the event itself, the Turbojugend 2014, which is number 10, which is going to take place in August, in early August, and the first weekend of August in the beautiful city of Hamburg in St. Pauli. And I asked him about all the details and all the news he can actually share at this point. So glue your ears to the loudspeakers. We have some news for you. With me at this time is a pretty famous person in Turbojugend.
Pretty person.
And pretty person and a pretty famous person who actually took over El Presidente's residency in Turbojugend St. Pauli. Willen, he is the new president of Turbojugend St. Pauli. Maybe the audience who only knows El Presidente from back in the years doesn't know you. Maybe they have not even seen you. I doubt it, but maybe you can tell the audience a little bit about who you are and how long have you been in Turbojugend St. Pauli.
Well, I know all the people that started Turbojugend St. Pauli back in '98 because they worked for the music business and I worked for radio at that time. But actually I founded my first Jugend back in 2001, which is a pretty unusual year for founding a Jugend. 2003 would have been better, but it was 2001. It was back in Baden-Baden, which is right next to the French border, a really, really old city and rich city, and the combination of Turbojugend, especially in the city, was pretty funny, I thought, so I founded it.
What was the name of the Jugend?
Turbojugend Baden-Baden. Baden-Baden, Baden Problem. And over the years, I got more and more contact with the guys from here, and then when I moved to Hamburg 3.5 years ago, Jürgen invited me to become an official member of Turbojugend St. Pauli. I was always like on fringes and knew the people, but I was not an official member of it. And I was really happy about this, and I really felt honored. So, and I'm a pretty close friend with Jürgen, and he sits right next to me when we had the St. Pauli games, football matches.
This was this Aqua thing? Back then, or you were talking about the actual games at
the moment. Yes, of St. Pauli. Mm-hmm. And so we have close friends. And when he sort of resigned like 2 years ago, we had sort of a vacancy concerning the presidency of Turbojugend St. Pauli. And since we really like each other and we trust each other, he asked me like if I didn't want to take it over and try to
resurrect
it a bit. So we've already worked on it. So we got a couple of new members, as you know, people that are actually on the streets. We are more people can recognize the Turbojugend St. Pauli again in here in St. Pauli because we are wearing the jackets again, everything. So everything was a bit down concerning the whole visibility of Turbojugend St. Pauli, and we've changed this during the last 2 years. This is something we've been working on really hard, and so I felt honored. And I know you can't do the job of Jürgen because he did so unbelievable things for the Jugend, and he's sort of it's not a god, but he's really above everybody else. So I don't want to compete with him or something like this, but. Now Turbojugend St. Pauli has again a president like all the other Jugends have, and this is what we.
Okay, so back in the days and back in the years when I also remember the first years in Hamburg and the first Turbojugend Tage, there used to be a solid president presence of Turbojugend St. Pauli with lots, or not lots, but at least a decent amount of members of the Turbojugend St. Pauli. How many of those old members of Turbojugend St. Pauli, maybe not Jürgen, okay, we talked about him, but apart from the old gang of Turbojugend St. Pauli, how many of them are still active, and are they in any?
They are actually. So, and the good thing is, like, in the time we tried to resurrect Turbojugend St. Pauli, a couple of those guys realized that they're actually emotionally still in it. So we have Captain Fantasy wearing his kutte again sometimes. There's Aki is back, Niels is back, Felix and Dennis wearing their kuttes. Not regularly, but they do Willy. So this is like, I'd say it's 8 or 10 of the old guys that also founding members actually of Turbojugend St. Pauli are back on the track actually, which is nice to see, and to see that the new guys get along with the old guys, you know.
Yes, because it's also the old school and the new. There's always this old school and new school topic, obviously, also in Turbojugend St. Pauli. And as a basic question, because you have been living in Hamburg for how many years now?
3.5 years.
3.5 years, and so you became friends with Jürgen, and then you were kind of a new guy to Hamburg, but still you got the task and the honor to take over Turbojugend St. Pauli. As in how far is the part of the city St. Pauli with the red light background and maybe some motorcycle gangs and all those real usual St. Pauli related topics still influencing Turbojugend St. Pauli? Do you have to have any real connections to this old St. Pauli world?
No, I don't think so. This is actually, it is like when you're here, this is like most probably like in every other district in the world. So if you live in a certain district, you get to know the people. And apparently we still have red light here, we still have drugs here, we still have hookers here, we still have the Hells Angels here, whatever. So you get to know the people, and you know how to behave, and you know how to get along with those people, and after a while, they know your face, they know that you belong in this area. So this is not a problem, but you don't have to necessarily be very careful. You don't have to have close contacts with those people.
Okay,
you
because
have them.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily to.
I was just thinking because, I mean, you being not, I understand that St. Pauli is the area and the district of Hamburg is a district that has been growing for decades basically, and being a newbie, or not a newbie, but you have been only in St. Pauli as a Turbojugend member for 3 years. As I would think that it's kind of hard to get into St. Pauli and maybe also into the Jugend of St. Pauli. Did you encounter any because you came from Baden-Baden to Hamburg? Did you encounter any different difficulties with the old St. Pauli members because they are from Hamburg, from St. Pauli?
No, actually not. So this is, as I told you before, I've been here quite regularly. I've been to Hamburg for the last, 10 or 12 years. I DJ'd at the King Calavera, at Queen Calavera. I knew a lot of people. I went to the football matches of St. Pauli. So when I came here, I wasn't a stranger. I had a couple of friends. I had a couple of people I really knew. And they like me and I like them. So, and plus I'm not one of those people that, don't talk to other people. So I like communication. That's pretty easy to me to get to know people. And thank God most of the times people do like me.
Okay, so what would you say are the goals for Turbojugend St. Pauli for the next year? You talked about it in the beginning that you want to resurrect the chapter and get the chapter more active and more present in the Turbojugend world, because I mean it's commonly known that Turbojugend St. Pauli is the mother of all Jugens.
Well, I like to combine the worlds of the heritage we have and being present again. So this is the most important thing. And since so many people didn't show up to
Hello, young man. Hi. We just had a visitor, and he just said hi. We were in the dark room of Fred Schnellring.
So for many times when there were any Jugend parties or whatever, there was nobody wearing a St. Pauli Kutte. So this means St. Pauli was not just the mother of the Jugens, but they were like a halo or something like this within the Jugend. They were not, you couldn't touch them, you couldn't talk to them. And this is a thing we've been working on really hard to change this, so that people know that we are there again. You can talk to us. We talk to people. We try to be alive. That's the most important thing, I think. And I think we've succeeded pretty much during the last couple of months, at least.
How many members are actually now in? If you can't count Turbojugend St. Pauli?
Well, it's 36 at the moment, and out of those 36, we have, I'd say, like 15 active members or something like this. You see quite regularly wearing their kuttes.
Okay. When we talk about those active members, are those members like people from living in St. Pauli or also from other cities?
No, I'm really talking about the people living in St. Pauli or in Hamburg. So we have a lot of active members like Chip Esther from or Mark the Dark or Kato or Duncan. So they are also members, Big L, members of Turbojugend St. Pauli. They don't live here. I really mean the people living here in Hamburg.
The locals. So I learned that you took charge, being the new president of Turbojugend St. Pauli, you took charge of organizing the next Weltturbojugend Treffen or Tage, however you want to call it. It's a T anyway. So what can people expect from the or maybe you can tell the people when it's going to happen and what people can expect from the event as such?
Well, it's going to be in the first weekend of August, which means it will be on the 1st and 2nd of August, and it'll be the 10th Weltturbojugend Tage. And it's not just me or Turbojugend St. Pauli trying to organize the whole thing. We have help from, like, Rutger is going to have his mini golf tournament again, and a couple of things will happen. So at the moment we're talking about and with bands that would like to play here, or that we would like to have them here. But I think, actually the most important thing is to have a ground for the Turbojugend to meet here in Hamburg. I always thought that it's not the most important thing to have band XYZ playing there. People like to go there, and if Turbo Negro can play here, of course, this is like the coronation of the whole Turbojugend Tage. But we're trying to find something. I thought about like a football tournament. But the thing is, like, because everybody's drunk, we would have so many injured people by the end of the Turbojugend Tage, so that I said, no, we won't do this.
Not solid regular sport, but maybe mini golf just is the right picture, because you don't get...
Absolutely. So we are talking about a couple of things, but we haven't decided if something's going to happen. There's a small place, it's in walking distance from Schlemmereck, where you can do the German version of bowling. And this is really a punk rock.
You're talking about Kegeln?
I'm talking about Kegeln, and the place is called Vereinseck. And it's a really nice place, and you can smoke on the track, and you can actually do whatever you want to do. So this is something we are thinking about to do. Actually, we just try to be... we just try to welcome the Jugens and hope that they feel welcome as guests here in Hamburg. And we have a couple of small, nice ideas I don't want to talk about at the moment, but so.
Okay, so the event, I'm a regular guest on the event. I usually come on Thursday nights and I leave on Sundays, during the day, because I always have to work, or I think I have to work on Monday. And can you tell the people about when would be the best time, or when is the peak time, and when would be the coolest time to come? Because I heard that some people are even coming on a Wednesday.
Yeah, well, actually, the funny thing is, it used to start, everybody knows, like, the Turbojugend Tage was always on a Friday and on a Saturday. And usually the people started to come on Thursday. And last year I went to Herbert's place to Schlemmereck to talk to him, because I had a couple of questions concerning the Turbojugend Tage, and I showed up here and there was 20, 25 people from Sweden and Finland outside.
Which day was that?
A Wednesday.
A Wednesday, okay.
Wednesday. those people said that they'd like to come this year on Monday. So they'd like to stay a week or even longer than a week. I don't know if this is really clever, but it's going to be interesting.
And healthy or healthy?
It's not healthy. I know for sure it's not healthy. And I know like a friend of mine from Scotland is coming and he's going to stay here for 5 days too. So I think actually it might be a pretty good idea to show up on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. Because maybe we'll have a special night out on Thursday night, which means you could be here at that time. And I've never ever been to the Mexicana Sunday. I never made it because like after 3 days
your body says no.
With Turbojugend, I can't do this.
Okay, maybe there will be a Wednesday. On the Thursday, I know it's a get-together evening. But last year we had there was at least some activities with karaoke, I think, and it got wilder on the Thursday. Usually the Thursday was the night when everybody came and they were maybe for the only time on the weekend actually talking to each other, because on the Friday and Saturday there will be concerts, right?
People were so drunk that they won't be able to talk to each other.
Exactly. So the Thursday is the talking. If you want to talk to people, maybe you can derive that from the conversation. If you want to talk to people, the Wednesday and the Thursday is the day where you can talk to people, not intoxicated. I mean, the Friday and the Saturday is the party days, I would say, where intoxication will be a big factor, and hopefully not, or hopefully, I don't even know the temperature. Maybe we can get above the 52 degrees in the Grünspahn, because this was a psychedelic event actually. And maybe people don't know, on the Sunday night there is this Mexicana Sunday where people, I think they will sleep long and they relax, or at least they try to, only to destroy the whole relaxation by drinking lots of Mexicana, which is a tomato-based, what else in there? Vodka, right? And, Tabasco, yes. So they get wasted again on the Sunday night. So that kills your Monday. But, I mean, it's all of you Jugends out there in Radio Wonderland, you're old enough. And you can destroy yourselves on a Sunday. Obviously on a Saturday, on a Friday, I'm going backwards, as you can tell. But if you want to talk to people, consider Thursday and even Wednesday this year. And Willem, the new president of Turbojugend St. Pauli, will make sure that you guys will have a killer program. And he's, as I understand, you're just, as we speak, organizing it. And there are rumors that the favorite band, Turbojugend from Norway, might be playing.
Well, I hope so.
He's still hoping. It's not sure as up now, but we're still hoping that Turbojugend plays at the 10th anniversary of the Turbojugend. In any way, there will be good and more than decent bands playing on a Friday, on a Saturday. Thursday, we don't know. And for you guys conservatively organizing your trip, I heard there is another event on the weekend of the Turbojugend.
That might be a bit interesting. There's an event called the Cruise Days, which means that a couple of those cruise liners come here to Hamburg at that weekend. This might be like 5 or 6 of those big cruise ships. And mostly the people that go to this event don't book hostels. Still, it might be a pretty good idea to try to get a room as soon as possible.
Yes.
Since there will be even more people in the city at that weekend as usually.
Yeah, so the message is get your rooms early. I mean, I'm an old, as you guys know, I'm older. My skin hangs from my ass already as I'm turning 40, as I turned 40. And I'm usually booking a regular hotel, and they told me that there's this cruise days on the weekend, so I better speed up booking my room, which I obviously did. But if you guys are organizing your weekends in Hamburg, make sure you get a hotel room. I'm pretty sure you can cancel it, but in any way, book it. Book the hotel room first, because the event is definitely taking place on that weekend. And the rest with flights and everything, you can arrange parallel or maybe after that. But make sure more than in the years before that you get your hotel room or your hostel room quicker than on your average Weltturbojugend target, because rooms will be going soon. All right. So I guess that ends our conversation. I do thank Willem for talking to me about him personally at Turbojugend St. Pauli, as well as the Weltturbojugend Tage. I personally want to congratulate him on following the big and huge footsteps of El Presidente, and I hope we will see you guys soon in the beautiful city of Hamburg.
Oi, oi.
Oi, oi. Wonderful, wonderful times ahead. The Weltturbojugend Tage in Hamburg in August. Not only that, there will be a slew of events taking place prior to that, before that. Let's say, for example, I picked it up from the World Wide Web of the Facebook group Turbojugend News. At the end of February, which is pretty close, if you guys are from France, just hit Bordeaux on the 28th of February for the first party of the Turbojugend Moon Harbor. There will be several other parties in Europe. I just picked some. There will be the Kassel Heart Attack in the beginning of May. We got one of the nicest event posters I personally have seen in the end of June. It's called the Denim Rodeo, also in Germany, in the southwest part of Germany, as well as we heard a Jugendfest in the early summer in Milano. I've read some stuff about events taking place in South America, obviously also in the US, and I think there's also something going on in Greece. So lots of things to do, lots of parties to go to, and if you guys are not a really active Turbojugend event participant, give it a try. It's by far the best way of experiencing Turbojugend in the real life. No, Turbojugend is not definitely not an online thing. It's not a Facebook thing. It's not a Twitter thing. And it's even not only going to concerts. There's far more behind that. Every single party I went to was a complete success. Not only a complete success, but a complete waste that goes along with it. But no problem with that. It's always nice to meet up with your denim brothers and even get to know new brothers. If you happen not to know too many of them, just go there and you will see you are going to have a nice and exhausting evening, which you all should enjoy, even as we turn older and might feel the aches of a party until Tuesday. Anyway, this was the February episode of Turbojugend Radio. As usually, we'll end the show with the Green Puff of the Month, brought to you by my audio slave Bengal, who again dug into the archives of music with the aim of sharing the wonderful music of punk rock or metal with you, to get you guys going with new ideas, get you guys to get to know new bands and get some new inspiration for your Jugend and private life. So enjoy Bengal's homework, which you again did in a very professional and nice way. See you next time. Stay assy. Turbojugend.
The Cream Puff of the Month, brought to you by Bengal.
In 1994, 5 dudes from Oslo decided to become the kings of rock. After some glorious albums and countless gigs, they sadly split up in 2005. What a loss. But this is the great thing about music. It survives. So go out and buy records again. Buy vinyl, or at least CDs. Our ears deserve more than MP3s. So here they are now, preserved for the future with I Got a War. Lucifer, the kings of rock.